This is episode number 12, the Hunter Halcrow episode of the Northstars Show, Season 5. I'm Bruce Krentz, the mouthpiece of the show. In behind the camera, we have a guy that I think should run for mayor. I know he could win for mayor, and his whole platform could just be his personal Twitter feed. Get you all the votes you need. You need about 1,200. You're pretty much there. It's Paul Anderson behind the camera. Underneath the coat this week, we were on a roll. I was wearing the Northstar coat, kind of forgot it. And underneath it, I've got the Trues tour shirt. The Trues were here for Nickel Days a couple years ago. Wendell Fitzpatrick's the president of Nickel Days. We're going to have him on the show. He's also a bus driver, going to talk about some of his experiences driving the bus. Unbelievable stories that Wendell's got. He's the president of Nickel Days. I bought this at Nickel Days because the show was so good. The Trues are awesome. I'm I would say almost a lifetime fan, but I don't have a coat to put over it, so it's all Trues this time around. Jaden Sigurdsson's here with me. You were here at the games on the weekend. Tell us what just happened here.
I thought we would have done a better job this weekend.
Keep going.
We lost to Central Plains 3-0 on Saturday. Our penalty kill was pretty strong, I thought, but obviously not strong enough. And on Sunday, we lost 7-2 to Central Plains. Lance Laycock got a power play goal. Michael Marcus. And Tony Apatagan with the assist. Braden Pollock got the second goal, even strength, assisted from Tony. We should have been able to come out with a win, but
not this time.
Yeah.
So 2 losses this weekend at home. Thanks, Jaden, for telling us what just happened here. As I mentioned, we're going to talk to Wendell Fitzpatrick. You got to tune in for the Coach Corman interview. The end of it is something you would not believe. I'm still not sure it's true. Unbelievable. Great talk with Doug. And like I said, 1 minute with Wendell. 1 minute with Justin Nachbar. It was way more than 1 minute with Wendell. He had lots to say. Nice 1 minute with Justin Nachbar, too. This is the Northstar Show. Here we go. We're here with Coach Corman on a day that we're focusing a little bit on road trips. We'll just quickly go through some blues and golds from this past weekend and then maybe move on to some of your thoughts on road trips, which you've been on a couple. Not probably as many as Wendell Fitzpatrick, who we're going to talk to in a few minutes, but a few of your own. A couple thoughts on the weekend, blues and golds.
Some golds. That's obviously we were off the ice, didn't play since the 19th of December. I thought the guys, for the most part, worked hard. Gave a solid effort, especially Saturday night's game. I thought we did all right. Obviously not satisfied losing, but talking to a lot of people, they thought it was a good hockey game. So I thought for the first game back, the guys did all right. Again, ran into some a blue, being undisciplined. That hurt us, obviously, especially when you're trying to get your legs back. Another gold, I thought. Our consistent hockey players, and again, they showed up. Lance Laycock's, Willie Lutz's, Braden Pollock's, those guys, game in and game out. You know what you're going to get out of those guys. So I just thought for first game back after the Christmas break, there were some good things there. The Blues, the same story, being undisciplined, too many penalties, that hurt us. And losing focus. So it's going to be interesting this weekend on the road. I think we're going to be a little short on the bench. Got some injuries, suspensions, but I think hopefully we got the core that is going to give it all. And because for some of the boys, their AAA midget careers dwindling down, coming to an end. So hopefully they got some gas in the tank.
Time's running out a little bit, and it will be nice to see the core shine. You guys you're on the road for a couple games this weekend. You've done lots of road trips with the North Stars. Give us a few tips. What do you always pack, Doug, for the bus trip? You a pillow guy? You iPod, earbuds? What's the go-to pack for you?
For the North Stars, I'm the movie guy. I always have my roll of sponge, my sleeping bag, and my pillow, because as soon as we hit Ponton, lights go off, my sponge comes out, and I lay on the floor, try to get as comfortable as possible. All the road trips, and I've done that, that goes back, holy moly, I think I picked that up when I played with the Regina Pats, and we used to make bus swings to the West Coast ever since then, so that was 17 years old. I can't do the math that quick, but it's been many years of having that sponge and a sleeping bag and a pillow to make those road trips comfortable.
Now that's some veteran experience right there, and I would love to see the kid who tried to take your spot on the floor on a trip out of town when you got to Ponton. How about the night trips? I bet you don't take too much, but if you're traveling during the day, what's your go-to snacks on the road?
Chocolate and peanuts. Unfortunately, last year we had Evan Lutz, and he was allergic to peanuts.
He's lucky he made the team.
Yeah.
You probably found out after.
Yeah, it was a bummer, but I think I snuck in a peanut M&M one time just to see if I'd get a reaction out of him, but maybe he was too far back in the bus. But I like stuff like that, nuts, chocolate bars, always have something to drink, water, chocolate milk, odd time pop.
And energy food to keep you going. Any memorable road trips with the North Stars, not necessarily for the games, but maybe buses breaking down or getting hung up someplace, having to help someone out on the road? Got any stories like that?
Yeah, geez, over the years, we were heading to, actually the year we were Manitoba champions, our bus broke down heading to North Battleford. Didn't break down, it burnt down on the highway. So our bus burnt on the highway. We had a bus, it was an old blue, it wasn't a gray goose or anything, Greyhound, it was like an old school bus. Bus driver,
School bus.
yeah, bus driver tried to pass somebody just outside of Winnipeg and clipped the back end of a car, and we were doing 360s down the highway. We ended up in the ditch, people screaming and everything else. That was always sticks in my mind. And probably my most memorable bus trip ever, and it was back with the King Miners. And people can say what they want, but I know what I saw is what I saw. And we were coming back to Thompson, and that was junior hockey, and back in those days, I know we had some pops sometimes on those road trips, but
Like you would.
like we would, our whole team, our bus driver stopped the bus, our whole team got out of the bus, and we watched a UFO for, I would say, 10 minutes, and then it disappeared. The last 40 miles coming into Thompson, we had the coaching staff and all the players jammed into the first 4 rows of that bus. Nobody would go to the back of the bus. So that sticks out. I believe in UFOs. I seen it that night. I could see it today. So that's pretty memorable.
I don't know where to go from there. I got nothing left. Doug saw a UFO. They're real. He's still out there searching for the Sasquatch. Thanks, Doug.
No problem, Bruce.
You're watching the Northstars Show on Shaw TV.
Welcome back. This is the Minor Hockey Moment, a chance for us to explore all different aspects of minor hockey, from the players and coaches right through to the people that support the teams and the players. And with us today is somebody that's been supporting minor hockey for an extremely long time and been involved since, what do you think, Wendell? When did you start?
1981.
1981. Wendell Fitzpatrick's with me. He's a bus driver. Started off with Grey Goose.
That's right.
And ended up now with Greyhound. So 81 to 2016, that's tough math.
I think the first team I drove were the Thompson Hawks, and Johnny Roy was the coach.
That's taken us back a little bit in the Thompson history.
It was fun.
Who else would have been on some of those trips? Some other notables?
I can't remember. No, I can't remember.
Is that Ron Mimko and those guys, or is that a little bit beyond
No,
them?
I don't remember Mimko.
Yeah, that's almost the Lovro Pollock, Glenn Laycock experience, I think.
Actually, I took them to Flin Flon, and I was more worried about getting out of Flin Flon alive than I was worried about anything else. And then on the way back, It snowed like I've never seen it snow before in my life. And I was actually pushing snow with the bumper of the bus. So I wasn't taking names. I was more concerned with getting home.
But you couldn't turn back. They wouldn't take you back in Flin Flon.
There was no place to turn around anyway, so.
Any other big names? I mean, obviously you were through the Thompson Hawks. You've done countless King Minor trips, I'm sure, and lots of the North Star trips as well. Any other notable people that have been on some of those teams that you can think of?
You know, there's been so many people, and we've had so much fun. Like it's actually a pleasure driving the kids from Thompson. It doesn't matter, you know, whether it's hockey or whether it's a school. The kids in Thompson are so well behaved. They're just a pleasure to drive.
And I think I can attest to that. I mean, I've been on a few school trips with you and a few hockey trips, and it seems to me like you genuinely enjoy not just the driving, but sort of being on the trips. Is that fair to say? Yeah,
You try to get involved with the group and watch the games and participate. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's good times for sure. And I mean, everybody appreciates, I think, knowing that when the day's done, your work is just starting when their work is done on the court and on the ice and all of that stuff. So I know people really appreciate that. How many trips, could you take a guess at how many trips you've been on? Even a ballpark? 30 years times, how many trips would you do a year?
I don't know. 30 to 400, maybe 400 trips. Like I couldn't even guess. It's crazy. Like so many trips, and there's so many. Like some of the trips are longer, some of the trips are shorter. So I don't know. Tons and tons of trips.
They all start to blur together, but I can say you certainly haven't lost your enthusiasm for that at all. You talked about pushing snow with the bus. Are there any other sort of trips that really stand out in your mind? Any crazy things that have happened to you on the road?
Well, there was one time when we were going to Brandon, and I think it was the Bantam team that was taken down there. Josh was on the bus, Kevin was on the bus, and we had down by the shift module. There's a little red light that comes on that says, do not shift. When that little red light comes on, you know that wherever you stop, that's where you're going to stay. So I was, typical minor hockey trip. We leave Thompson, everything is tight. You get to Woboden and you run into a snowstorm. So we got to about just south of Devil's Lake, and the light come on. And I knew that, it wasn't going to be good. So I just kept my foot on the throttle, and we got to Asher, and the kids went in and got something to eat in Ashern, and we all got back on the bus, and I put the bus in gear, and it wouldn't go anywhere. Like first gear, it wouldn't shift out of first gear. So we go across. We were at the Esso. We went across to the Petro-Canada where the scheduled bus was sitting there, and the guy that was going to Winnipeg had a very sad look on his face because they'd closed number 6 highway. So he's sitting there. Well, fortunately, we're going through the Narrows. My road isn't closed. So Kevin says, why don't we take that bus? And I said, oh yeah, sure. I'm going to give this guy.
They're going to love this.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a broken bus. So I said, well, we'll try, So I went inside and I seen Kenny and I said, can we have your bus? And he said, yeah, I guess so. I'm here till morning anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we changed all the gear out of our bus onto that bus that was pulling a trailer. So the kids were ecstatic because now they have a bus and a trailer, right? And we head off. I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we head off, we have to phone and make sure this is okay with dispatch. So I talked to the operations manager in Winnipeg, Maurice Carrier, and I told him what we were going to do, and he talked to Kenny, and then he says to Kenny, let me talk to Wendell. He says, so you're going to do this, Wendell? And I said, yeah, we're going to do this. He said, okay, I don't want to hear from you again tonight. And I said, okay. So we went on our merry way, and actually we got a little ways through the Narrows, and the snow stopped blowing, and the stars were out, and everything was beautiful. So we had a great trip with a bus with a trailer. Perfect.
Never a dull moment between Thompson and Brandon. The stolen bus, the Northstars, I absolutely love that. What's your favorite? I mean, you've been to so many places. What's one of your favorite places to go to? Where do you like to head
Kenora.
to? Yeah?
Yeah, I like Kenora. Yeah.
Because the bus trips are good and because the games are good to watch?
Well, the games are good to watch. We stay in a nice place, and yeah, it's good. It's a long trip. It's probably one of the longest trips the North Stars make, but it's good. You get into you leave here at night, and you get into Kenora about 8 o'clock in the morning, And that last few miles, once you hit the Ontario border, it's 90 kilometers an hour. And you know, you almost feel like you could get out of the bus and run alongside it. It's so slow. But yeah, Kenora's, it's nice. And it goes at the beginning of the year, so the water's still open. It's nice.
Saunter along. It is a nice place. Kind of like the train up to Churchill. You feel like you could
Yeah,
get out.
I've
go
never
for a
been on the
walk.
train to Churchill.
Oh, it feels like exactly like that feeling, believe me. A couple more short snappers maybe. Can you describe a couple of sort of like the typical people that you get on the bus? There's got to be the sleepy guy, the yappy guy, the manager that tells everybody how it is.
There's always, the kids are usually in the back of the bus, like by themselves. The parents are at the front of the bus. I don't interact too much with the kids in the back until the games, you know, and they're going off or on the bus. They give me a high five and stuff like that. But it's nobody really sticks out like as being yappy or anything like that. They're all good. Like it's good. It's a good trip.
I like that. Have you noticed a big difference in the days since we've got iPads and phones and all that? Is it quieter on the bus? It seems to me like it is. There's less singing and people playing cards and all of that.
Yeah, there's hardly any cards. And one of the biggest things on a bus is to have a charging station so the kids can charge all their stuff. And that's really important to the kids. And if you can do that, you're a hero, right? So I usually work on that right off the bat, right? Charging station is here.
Then everybody loves it. Then they'll do whatever you want. We're
That's
stopping
right.
here. We're not stopping there. This is what's going on. Last one. What kind of snack do you pack for a trip to Winnipeg? You've done this trip more than anybody. So if I'm going on this one, what do I take? How many coffees? What do I throw in there? Muffin, an apple?
One Starbucks. One large Starbucks gets you to Winnipeg. And I take bars, like nut bars and stuff like that. And at night, when everybody goes to sleep, you get bored, right? Because you're up there all by yourself. And if it's a nice...
You've seen that road before? There's no
Yeah,
surprises
yeah,
there.
once or twice, yeah. And so I take pistachios. I eat pistachios lots, yeah.
Pretty good healthy snacks. I like that. One big Starbucks all the way to Winnipeg. It does kind of crack me up because if you went to work, you wouldn't take a lunch that could like help you survive for 3 days. But oftentimes the bus trips, especially with the hockey teams, everybody's got enough food on there to last for a week.
I know. I get on the bus and I got a bag like this, right? And I put it down right in the front beside me.
Yeah.
And people will say, "What's that?" And it's my lunch. You know? One thing that I would like to share is we were going to Melfort, and it was a snowstorm again, and we were behind a car, and this car, every time I tried to get by him, he'd speed up. He didn't want me to get ahead of him because there was probably a foot of snow on the road, so I could see a long ways away, and so I pulled out to go by him, and I was right up beside him, and as I got out of his snow dust stream or whatever you want to call it, I seen the red bump tabs on the side of the road, and I was pinned down, and I hit that bump, and my bag slid forward. It released the door locks, and the door flew open, the lights come on, and Brad Ritchie was in the front seat sleeping. And he sat straight up. I don't know what he thought, but it wasn't good.
Not fit for Shaw TV, that's for sure. A memorable North Star trip. Someone who's seen more North Star games, I'm sure, than Josh, who was a North Star.
Yeah,
But he'll get his chance.
that's right.
Wendell Fitzpatrick, thanks for taking us on however, like you said, 900 trips, 1,000 trips probably, and keeping us safe. One of the bus drivers, this is a minor hockey moment. Thanks a lot.
Monius, long pass here. You got Nachbar. He's right in alone. Nachbar scores! Nachbar got in behind the defense of the Parkland Rangers who went in, and what a great finish. What a beautiful move. And they got him up 3-2.
This is 1 Minute With. I'm joined again by Justin Nachbar, Pride of Cross Lake. This past weekend, a couple of points. Things didn't really go the way the team wanted to, but I thought you did all right. A couple penalty minutes too. Thoughts on the last weekend?
We should have battled harder and capitalized on all our chances.
Yeah, it seemed like the pucks just really weren't going in. Lots of power plays too. You just couldn't quite get her done, eh? We've got Wendell Fitzpatrick coming up. He's a bus driver that's driven the North Stars a lot and teams from around Thompson. Focusing on travel a little bit this time around. What's your favorite road snacks that you like to take on the road?
Goldfish.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the go-to.
Yeah, that's a go-to.
And I mean, lots of the trips here you guys do, you leave late at night, so I'm guessing that you do some sleeping. But when you're not on there, are you an iPod guy? Do you like playing cards with your friends? What do you do to pass the time?
I just listen to music and think about our next game coming up.
I kind of like that. Same thing. How many times do you think you've done the trip from Cross Lake to Thompson?
Lost count.
I guess so. I did that one a few weeks ago. It was pretty good, actually. I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Pretty drive.
Yeah.
The ice is ready to go,
Yeah.
Paul, so we've only got 1 minute. You ready?
Yeah.
Favorite pregame meal? Can't be goldfish.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Everybody with the fettuccine. Which of your teammates have you known the longest?
Hunter Halcrow.
Right back to what, novice you guys, maybe?
Squirts.
Squirts!
Yeah.
I love that. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Favorite pizza topping?
Mushrooms.
Yes, finally. It's about time. Facebook or Twitter? Yeah, you're lying, but I still appreciate it.
Twitter.
All right. Favorite road arena?
Winnipeg.
Iceplex?
Yeah, Iceplex.
It's cool. I got a chance to play there. It's a pretty sweet place. What kind of music do you like?
Country.
Country music.
Yeah.
Heavily influenced by Highway 373. Who else? You got another favorite?
AC/DC, I guess.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, they've done a few things that are sort of memorable. Which teammate is always on the phone?
Oh, pretty much all of them. I don't really get to talk to any of them.
They're on their phone more than
That guy right there.
they're on their phone more than Paul Anderson. Besides the Northstars Show, your favorite TV or web series?
Don't really got one.
No?
Besides, maybe Family or a TV show.
All right. Generally inappropriate, but it is pretty funny stuff, I gotta say. Favorite thing to do on a road trip?
Make jokes with the boys and sleep.
Goof around. What else is there to do on a road trip? I think that's half why everybody plays hockey is to hang out with their buds. Otherwise, you're stuck at home doing dishes. How do you like your eggs, speaking of doing dishes?
Over easy.
All right. Out of the scrambled thing, you can come and have supper at my place anytime. Which teammate's always late?
Tramian.
And your favorite NHL player?
Milan Lucic.
Ooh, very good. You have a bit of a Lucic look to you in that ugly hat. That's 1 minute with Justin Nachbar.
Hi, my name is Charles Monge for your Norman Northstars. I wear 21. My position's left wing, hometown Thompson Elementary, Westwood. Favorite player, Brendan Gallagher.
Good.
That's it, folks. The Hunter Halcrow edition, number 12, season 5 is in the books. I want to thank Doug Korman for telling us about the most incredible bus trip he's ever been on. Some great thoughts from Wendell Fitzpatrick, too. It was incredible to chat with him. Justin Nachbar, and we also thank Jaden Sigurdsson for telling us what just happened here. Hello to our viewers in Flin Flon and the Paw, and everybody on YouTube. It's really nice to have you along. In case you missed it last time, there was a few things that I wanted to circle back on. We had Charles Mogier on here. He forgot what his favorite song of the time was, and it was I Was Made for Lovin' You, Kiss song. Wanted to get to that, and congratulations to the Pee Wee AA King Miners who won the Prince Bershide tournament. We had a couple of them on last week too, so top marks to them for getting the win on the weekend. We're going to do it all again in 1 week. That's the Northstars Show.